You know, there's an old expression in hockey that only the good die young. Now, we didn't invent that expression, but in this case, it really, really applies. When Walt Poddubny passed away in Thunder Bay, Ontario, at the young age of 49 on March 21st, 2009, of a massive heart attack at his sister's house, everybody mourned a player that a lot of people consider one of the most underrated skaters of the 1980s. He became a big hero in Toronto, playing with some of the key players like Freacher and these great different line mates through the years. Was a big player in New York. Was part of possibly the Quebec Nordiques' last chance for a Stanley Cup in 1989, that squad, and also played a factor in building up the New Jersey Devils into contenders, even though the points weren't there. He had not too bad of a seasons with them, like despite many injuries that hit him. Now, Walt Poddubny came to major prominence with the Brandon Wheat Kings of the WHL in the 78-79 season. Now, this came after some constructive years with Thunder Bay. According to published reports, in the 79 season, 22 points in 20 games, including 11 goals. Now, 1980, his draft year, he split time with the Kitchener Rangers and the Kingston Canadians of the OMJHL. 59 points, 33 goals in 62 games, and 2 points in 3 playoff games. Now we're saying to ourselves, who's going to take Poddubny? It might be good for Toronto, good for Montreal, but of all teams that took him, and really it was a project for them, was the Edmonton Oilers. They took him 90th overall in the 5th round. Unfortunately, in Edmonton, it didn't work out. He spent the 81 season in the CHL and the IHL with the Wichita Wind and the Milwaukee Admirals. Put up some decent numbers, 25 combined goals in 75 games. Back with a win in 82, 81 points in 60 games, 35 goals. Now, he did play 4 games with the Oilers that year, but this is where his fortunes turned for the better. He was eventually traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and probably, not say a one-sided deal, but it helped Toronto more than help Edmonton. They traded Poddubny and Phil Drouillard to Toronto in exchange for a prospect that had yet to pan out for Toronto, Laurie Boschman. And when he arrived in Toronto, like the worm turned for him. 82, again, some injuries held him back. He had 3 goals and 4 assists in 7 games, 7 points in 11 games. But 83 was the big year. He set a rookie scoring record with 28 goals, 59 points in 72 games. 84, injury riddle again, 25 points in 38 games. 85, injury bug again, but he had enough to put up 20 points in 32 games in Toronto. Now, 1986, he split time with St. Catharines in Toronto. 12 goals in Toronto, 28 in St. Catharines, 55 points. So it was going to be a case of either play me or trade me, and this is where the second level of his career came in. He found himself in New York, and there's where he put up the big numbers, ladies and gentlemen. First season with New York in 87, 87 points in 75 games, 40 goals. Second season, 88 points in 77 games. But then he moved on to Nordiques and another 38 goals. So 3 consecutive seasons with New York and Quebec, at least 38 goals. Now he found himself in the New Jersey system later on, again injury riddled. Went to Germany for a while, played roller hockey after he retired from minor pro in the NHL with Las Vegas and Orlando of the RHI, and then wrapped up his minor pro career with the Worcester Ice Cats in 1995 after playing in the Bundesliga number 2 with Bad Nauheim in 93. He went into coaching. He coached the Roller Gators in 95, then the Daytona Beach Breakers of the SHL in 96, then 3 consecutive years with the very popular Anchorage Aces of the WCHL, where he helped build up hockey in Alaska like you wouldn't believe, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what was unique about Poddubny? Not only was he could adapt for different squads, he played all 3 forward positions during his junior career. Now, he was mostly a center left wing, 6'1", 205, and the awards kept on piling up when he was playing. He made the All-Star team with Quebec in '89. He was Toronto's plus-minus leader in '83. He was the Rangers MVP in '87, most popular player with the Rangers in '87. He was Toronto's playoff goals leader in '83. The Rangers' top player in '87 and '88 for points, goals, and assists, and also he led Quebec in goals in '89. When he first came to Edmonton, he was playing with a very interesting line. The former Maple Leaf Stan Weir and the former Montreal Canadian Pat Hughes, but again, not enough of a, not say a Grampy Kid line to really put it together. But injuries really hit him. He missed part of the '83 season with a leg injury in October that year. Now, he did score 28 goals in that campaign, but he missed half of the '84 season with a broken ankle, which actually was suffered during practice. He also missed a part of the '86 season with another foot infection when he was cut by another player's skate during Toronto's training camp in September '85. Now, he missed parts of the '87 season with a hip injury and a concussion as well. Missed a whole load of the '89 season with a sprained left knee, suffered in October '88. He missed the remainder of the '89 season with a broken nose and lacerations of his face, an injury suffered when he was hit by, of all people, that prick, Alt Samuelson, in a game, not from a body check, but a shot. And of course, Quebec missed him in the playoffs, and you know what happened there. Now, he also missed part of the 1990 season with a disc-related back injury, suffered in '89. He was out of the lineup for the first time with injury on October 20th, and then was only able to play a few games at a time before having to rest his back. He then missed the remainder of the '90 season and the entire '90 playoffs with a torn ACL in his right knee, an injury suffered when he fell to the ice with Kelakisio during a February 15-19 game between the Devils and the Rangers. Now, this required arthroscopic surgery. He also missed part of the '91 season and the entire playoffs with a continued complications for his right knee injury, requiring season-ending surgery. Now, he also missed start of the '92 season with a new knee injury, again suffered in training camp. Now, Poddubny never held spite against the people that injured him or what is happening, but he was considered, again, a gentleman on and off the ice. When you win that Frank Boucher trophy, and he was named the team's most valuable player from the Professional Hockey Writers Association, you can make it in New York and you can make it anywhere. But after his career in hockey ended, like I said, he went into Anchorage coaching, and he did say life after the NHL wasn't easy for him, and he once said, people think if you played in the NHL, you're set for life. It's not like that for everyone. And despite all the goals, despite all the, the accolades, the injuries really got to him because was that a contributing factor to a heart attack? Hard to tell, but like I said, when he passed away, boys, that was a shock. Because we felt, maybe Poddubny was going to go Team Canada route for what he called for coaching. Now, he was affectionately called Sarge, and he didn't like being called Walter, but he also sometimes didn't like being called Wally, which would they call him in junior career. Didn't say Wally World because it hadn't caught on by the time. Now, the SHL time he spent there really helped develop the league, and his time with Anchorage again, he was also named general manager for a time for 2 years. Now, the other injuries, of course, as well, he did get hurt in the AHL. You think AHL be less injuries, but he did break his thumb for St. Catharines in February '85. But I've been covering hockey for a lot, and when he was with the Nordiques in 1989, members of the media in Quebec said this is the final piece maybe we need towards the Stanley Cup run. And like I said, if anybody knows that Montreal, Quebec, and that what he called the East Coast rivalry, especially had against Boston, Poddubny was a proven goal maker, good guy on and off the ice, but I think Edmonton gave up on him too quick. It was Toronto's game. It was Rangers' game. It was Nords and then the Devils. But all those injuries, ladies and gentlemen, final NHL totals, okay? Look at this for a second. Almost a point a game pace. 422 points in 468 games, 184 goals, and 9 points in 19 playoff games. He is probably, in my opinion, one of the better players of the 1980s and the early 1990s to not win a Stanley Cup and to not win a World Championship or an Olympic medal. I would love to see Walt Poddubny on a Team Canada squad back in the day, but as you know, in the 87 Canada Cup, there was only so much room for role players like Poddubny, but he should have been considered more for Team Canada. But as a lot of people know, the teams he played for, obviously, besides Toronto, had a good chance to make the playoffs in most days. And I would love to see him in a playoff run in Quebec, but you know, that's woulda, shoulda, coulda. So again, Walt Poddubny passing away, a tragedy for every hockey fan in Toronto, New York, Quebec, St. Catharines, Utica, New Jersey, Germany, all over the AHL, Brandon, all the teams Milwaukee, all the players, teams he played for. And when he passed away, I'd like to actually see a Walt Poddubny Award for perseverance, because he had that in spades. You know, we talk about the Bill Masterson Trophy, but I'd like to see Poddubny get recognized for his talent and his excellence. So if you like what we're doing here with our Vintage Podcast, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. The reason I'm doing something on Poddubny, his longtime line mate, Miroslav Feature, passed away recently. And, you know, watching them play together in Toronto, I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan. It was a pleasure to watch those two talented players skate together. Very similar to you would see Lambert and Tremblay with Montreal. No joke. That type of camaraderie. Anyway, thanks for listening, and keep your stick in the ice. Bye.